So out of breath. We are about to film what is literally my least favourite ever video to film. So buckle in. This is every book that is unread that is still on my physical TBR. I have counted, it is ridiculous. I'm going to tell you at the end. We have a lot to go through. It is a lot, but I also read a lot. I read near enough 100 books a year. So this is probably not a year's worth of reading, it's definitely still more, but it is an outrageous number of books, but I also read an outrageous number of books. I'm going to tell you every single one, but first, I have an assignment for you guys. I have a vision of doing this video where you guys pick books for me to read, but as I just said, I have an insanely large physical TBR, so I want to pick books off of my TBR. So here's what I want you to do. As I'm going through every single book, and I'm going to speedrun them, I'm going to go quickly because otherwise we will literally be here for a year and a half. I want you to comment down below which books you want to see in a video. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to use a YouTube like random comment selector. I'm going to come back to this video and then there's like an app where you can pick comments at random. So if you see a book that you want me to read, comment it down below, but all that I ask is if you have more than one, and that's amazing if you do. If you have 7, can you leave 7 different comments so that way when it randomly selects, it just picks me one book. Does that make sense? So comment as many books as you want, just preferably individual comments. So if there are 30 books in here that you want to see me read, great, leave 30 comments. Thank you, that is your assignment, fully appreciate you. Now, oh, I guess we're just gonna get into it. I think the way I'm gonna do this is I'm not going to tell you the plots of every single one. I'm going to tell you about the ones that I think maybe you won't know so well. And if there are super popular ones, I'm not going to go into it because I feel like most of us will know. If you don't, I'm really sorry. But if I sit here and explain the plot to every single one of these books, you will never get to go on with your life. I also have, can you see up there? 6 books up there off my physical TBR, which is my monthly TBR. I've started a few of them. They're up there, but they're in loads of other videos this month, so, you know, starting the count off with 6. I think we're just going to take it one book stack at a time, and we're going to go as quickly as physically possible. And if you see a book you want me to read in a reading vlog, comment it down below. Starting strong with Writers and Lovers by Lily King. This is a romance, literary fiction, love triangle situation. So excited for this. Notes on an Execution is about a serial killer, but it's from the perspective of the women. The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. Another thriller about... Did I not just say I wasn't going to explain all the book plots? Butcher and Blackbird, the only dark romance that I own. How to Be Dead, books 1 to 3 by Dave Turner. This is a book my mum gave me. Neon Gods, which is a romance to do with gods, I think. I Love You But I've Chosen Darkness is a literary fiction about postnatal depression. Weirdo by Sarah Pascoe. One Dark Window, so excited, it's like a gothic fantasy. I need to get to this immediately. We have The Book Thief. This was on my 24 books to read in 2024. I'm so mad at myself that I didn't get to it. If He Had Died... What? If He Had Been With Me. YA. Sad romance. The Nursery, another one which is a literary fiction about postnatal depression. Hot Milk by Deborah Levy. I don't know what it's about, but it's some sort of literary fiction and it's tiny. The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Dating Dr. Dill, which is a romance between 2 people who go viral for having an argument. Fast Sword, which is the 2nd book in the Red Queen series. The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, so excited for this. The Island by Adrian McKinty, which is a thriller set on an island. Everyone I Know Is Dying by Emily Slapper. Messy literary fiction. It ticks lots of my buzzwords. 5-star prediction. This Is How You Lose the Time War. Sapphic sci-fi time travel romance. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Mad Honey. I've recently heard some very good reviews of this, so I'm excited. Also, how stunning is this copy? The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I really should have put authors together because I have a few more of his books, but best believe I'm not sitting here and organising now. We have Behind Her Eyes. Mexican Gothic. I want to read this so badly. I've heard this is scary. Oh, another Jennifer Lynn Barnes. We have The Naturals, which is like a YA mystery series. All's Well by Mona Awad, the author of Bunny. Twisted Love. The entire series are in here somewhere. We'll get to them at some point. Deep Down Dead. This author is actually a friend of my mum. She is wonderful. She has answered so many of my questions about like writing and being an author, and she is just lovely. So I'm very excited to read some of her books. The Drift by CJ Tudor, same author as The Chalk Man, which I really liked. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I know that this is going to get commented. This book, more than any other book, has been the most requested book for me to read on my YouTube channel ever. So I know, I know the comments are going to be screaming for this one. We have, not necessarily in this order, the Berserk trilogy by Michael Grant, who is the author of the Gone series, which I love. This one is something to do with like nanobots and I'm not sure. First stack done. That wasn't so bad. Let's do this one. We have Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. Sea of Tranquility, which I think is like a weird literary fiction. Something to do with time and space. The Teacher by Frida McFadden. I'm excited to read some more of her this year. Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I'm putting this one off a little bit, so I kind of need encouragement to read this because I just never pick up fantasy. So if you like this book, maybe comment it to encourage me. One that I don't need any encouragement to get to because I love her. Lisa Jewell with Watching You. Oh, another one that very much needs encouragement, The Natural Way of Things by Charlotte Wood. Started this last year, DNF'd it because it was so dark, but I do want to get to it again. Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. 5-star prediction. Disappearing Act by Robert Sheehan. This is a short story collection. Bride by Ali Hazelwood. You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. And Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy. Alright, stack number 3. Let's go over here. We have Blood Flowers by Jay McGuinness. It didn't have very many ratings, so I'm intrigued. I love reading a book that I've not heard anyone talk about because you get to go in so blind. It's fun. Love and Gelato. I thought this was a romance and then I read the back of the blurb and I don't think it is anymore. Don't know. Friendzone by Abby Jimenez. The next one's in here somewhere. Beautiful Boy by David Sheff. The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. The Accomplice by Steve Kavanagh. These Hollow Vows. Again, another one that I probably will need encouraging to pick up. Honestly, any fantasy in here I probably need encouraging to pick up. So if you want to see fantasy, comment fantasy. Hallowed Ground by Rebecca Yarros. I have a couple of Hannah Bonham Young. I have Next of Kin and Out on a Limb. I'm very excited for both. Kind of want to start with this one. I don't know why. So excited for this. Talking at Night by Claire Daveley. I've heard it compared to Sally Rooney. You don't need to say anymore. Wayward by Amelia Hart. A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. Something to do with a food critic stabbing her partner with an ice pick. A couple of Taylor Jenkins reads. Daisy Jones and the Six and After I Do. I'm pretty sure there must be more behind me, but again, didn't put authors together. She's Always Hungry, which is Eliza Clark's debut short story collection. I Who Have Never Known Men. Until I Get You, which I think might also be a dark romance, so I guess I do own more than one. When in Rome, the best title to ever exist, It Lasts Forever and Then It's Over, which is a literary fiction about zombies, I want to say. My Throat and Open Grave, which is like a dark fairy tale. Eileen, which is Otessa Moshfegh's debut. So excited for this, you know I'm obsessed with her. And Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson, I think also a debut, and again, heard incredible things. We have Scythe by Neil Schusterman. This is a YA dystopia series. The First to Die at the End, which is the follow-up to They Both Die at the End. So excited for this. Sorrow and Bliss by Meg Mason. Oh my gosh, I've owned this book forever. I need encouraging to read this as well. This is I Fell in Love with Hope, which is a very sad romance. Hopeless by Elsie Silver, the last book in the Chestnut Springs. Red, White and Royal Blue, again, could not be more excited for this one. Rouge by Mona Awad. Escape and Control by Steve Hollyman, which is something to do with... Oh yeah, this guy wakes up with no memory and then his girlfriend has been murdered, so I think he's trying to solve it, but he doesn't have any memory. And then we have The Whispers by Ashley Audrain. She wrote one of my favourite books ever, The Push, so I'm so excited for this. And we have The Crimson Moth. Ooh. Oh no. Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. I've read one of her fiction books. I'm intrigued to see one of her non-fiction. The Soulmate Equation. I think I actually have a couple of Christina Lauren's books. We have Honey and Spice, which is about a college DJ, I think, and it's a fun little romance. The Humans by Matt Haig, the author of The Midnight Library. Billy Summers by Stephen King. It has been a moment since I read a Stephen King book. Actually, I guess I read Carrie literally not that long ago. We have Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney, the author of Rock, Paper, Scissors. Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. I've heard this is a very dark, sad thriller. Oh, another Stephen King. We have Misery. Then we have Wrong Time, Wrong Place by Gillian McAllister. This is something to do with time travel, I think. Another Deborah Levy, we have Swimming Home, which is actually a book that I studied in high school, but I want to reread it. Acts of Service by Lillian Fishman. We have Her Body and Other Parties, which is a short story collection. My best friend is obsessed with it, so I'm excited. Looking for Alaska by John Green. I'm 95% sure I read most of this when I was a teenager. Never quite finished it, and then oh, there's a note in here. I have absolutely no idea what it is. It seems to be the pros and cons of different social medias. But one of them is SoundCloud, which goes to show you how long ago I read this book. But if this is my bookmark, I guess I got to page 107 last time. Oh, another Stephen King. We have The Running Man. Then I have Never Never. I have another Stephen King. I really should have just put these together. Pet Sematary. I've heard this one is actually very scary. Okay, where to next? Let's go over here. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, which is like a sci-fi thriller about a man who wakes up in a world that is kind of similar but different. That was vague. November 9th. All the Bright Places. The Hating Game. All the Light We Cannot See. I need to read this book. I've owned this for so long. I need to put aside some time to get to this. Another Stephen King. I didn't realise I owned so much. Blaze. I don't even know what this one's about. Oh, okay. It's about two boys who decide to kidnap the heir of a family fortune. I actually don't think I've heard of this one, but I've read a few of the books that he wrote under Richard Bachman, and I really enjoy like those set of books that he wrote. Like The Long Walk is one of my favourite books ever. Cursed by Marissa Meyer, which is the follow-up to... what was it called? Gilded, which is a Rumpelstiltskin duology. We have A Girl Called Samson, which is a historical fiction. Red Rising by Piers Brown. I'm scared of this series, but I want to get to it. And another historical fiction, She Who Became the Sun. Again, historical fiction I'm always a little bit scared of, so need encouragement on those ones. Honestly, possibly the only non-fiction in this pile, we have So You Have Been Publicly Shamed, which is to do with cancel culture, I think. Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. After You'd Gone by Maggie O'Farrell, author of Hamnet. This one is very different. This is like a contemporary fiction about a woman who ends up in a coma. Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home. And another historical fiction, we have Horses of Fire by A.D. Ryan. Oh, okay. Guys, we're doing so well. We have 3 parts. Six of Crows. The other one's here somewhere. Reckless by Elsie Silver. Twisted Hate. Killing Jericho, which is like I think it's like a disgraced detective story. I got it free at a thriller convention. Oh, actually at the same thriller convention I got Deadly Animals, which is another thriller about this girl who is like, she's into decomposing animals. She'll like go and find animals and like try and get their bones and skulls and stuff, and then she finds the body of her classmate. Another Christina Lauren, we have The Unhoneymooners. Daisy Hates The Great Undoing. Crooked Kingdom, we got there eventually. We have The Guest List. I'm still yet to read a Lucy Foley book. The Mirror Man, which is some sort of thriller. I think my mum gave me this one. Babel by R.F. Kuang. I've read Yellowface from this author and adored it. Extinction Trials by S.M. Wilson, which is, it says it's The Hunger Games meets Jurassic Park, and it's some sort of fantasy trial situation. We have Dodger by Terry Pratchett. We have Verity by Colleen Hoover, and we have I Found You by Lisa Jewell. 2 more book stacks, and then we're done. And then I'll give you my grand total. We have Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Maggie Moves On. Say You Swear. Eye for an Eye by MJ Ulrich. Another Lisa Jewell, we have Invisible Girl. Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I had more Christina Lauren than I realised as well. Love and Other Words. So excited for this. Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. Twisted Games. This is the book that has the least number of ratings on Goodreads out of my entire collection. It has like 17 or something. This is The Last Interview of Ada Fenn. This is about a, I think, 80-year-old woman who gets murdered and they're trying to figure it out. Golden Sun, the follow-up to Red Rising. The Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. A Court of Wings and Ruin. This is the 3rd ACOTAR book. I actually don't own the 2 after this, but this is the next one I need to read, and she is hefty. So I'm putting it off because I'm scared, but comment if you want that in the vlog. And then we have Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. I actually have a lot of Lisa Jewell books as well. That's great. I'm so happy I have so many left. I have 1 final book stack and then we are done. Are you ready? We have A Dawn of Onyx. 2 more Riley Sagers. We have The House Across the Lake and Home Before Dark. I think this one might be almost horror. It's set at like a Victorian mansion and there's ghosts and stuff. And then I think this one's more thriller. These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is a Romeo and Juliet dark retelling. When I say dark, I mean Romeo and Juliet's already relatively dark. We have I Want to Die But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki, which is also non-fiction. And one of the shortest books that I own. 190 pages. Twisted Lies. The Library Suicides, which is something to do with twins who are trying to like solve the death of their mother. But if it's set in a library, absolutely, I'm there. Powerless by Elsie Silver. Oh, another one that I got at that thriller convention, You'd Look Better as a Ghost by Joanna Wallace. I can't remember what this one was about, but I think it sounded quite almost humorous. But I'm not too sure, don't quote me on that. Then I have Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, and last but most certainly not least, we have The Sun Is Also a Star, which I want to say is sad YA romance? Maybe? Question mark? Done. I'm literally surrounded by books, which is like great, that's how I love to spend my time, but oh my gosh, there's a lot. Okay, you ready for the grand total? Drum roll please. I have 156 books on my physical TBR, including the 6 up there that are on my monthly TBR. Is that too many? Yeah, I agree. I agree. It is too many. I'm on a book buying ban. I mean, I'm pretty much permanently on a book buying ban, but really nice people bought me books for Christmas, which was so exciting. And now I'm like, oh, I have new books, which is lovely. But it does mean my physical TBR is even bigger. But if I read 100-ish books a year, we can get this down. I believe in us. Thank you very much for watching. Absolute props if you made it till the end of this. As I say, comment down below any of these books you want to see me read. Comment as many as you feel like, just if you can put them in separate comments, that would be so, so helpful. Other than that, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one. I love you. Goodbye.